What is up, you guys? It's Kat. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I got my coffee, which is black because I ran out of half and half. If you are like me and you drink your coffee with just half and half and you don't have any, try adding like an extra few tablespoons of water to the coffee and that helps. I also find that having to drink it black is better when it's iced. I am very excited to share with y'all, I believe it's 10 different ways, tips, tricks, habits to help you feel refreshed and not so groggy and tired when you wake up in the morning. I have a ton of morning routine videos on my channel. But the obvious, most difficult part about waking up early is those few seconds where your first few minutes when you actually have to get up. So these are, like I said, I think it's 10, maybe 11 different ways to help yourself feel more refreshed and awake in the morning and ready to take on the day. All right, so as humans, we sleep in 90-minute intervals. The last few minutes or 10 minutes, something like that, is your REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement, which is when you're dreaming. If you ever see your dogs dreaming and they're like kind of like shaking and their eyes are moving, they're probably dreaming. Callie does that a lot. And I used to like think that something was wrong and I'd be like, are you okay? And then I realized that she was just dreaming and I was waking her up in the middle of a dream, which really was not nice. So I don't do that anymore, I promise. Have you ever woken up and you literally like your body feels heavy? Like it's a struggle to get yourself up, and that's most likely because you were waking up during that REM cycle. So I saw this tip that I thought was really cool. Instead of setting your alarm for when you actually have to wake up, set it for 90 minutes before you have to wake up. That way, 90 minutes before, your body's gonna wake up no matter what part of your sleep in, and it resets your REM cycle so that you're gonna fall back asleep. And then when you do wake up 90 minutes later, chances are you will wake up without your alarm, and chances are you're going to wake up feeling way more refreshed because you're letting your body have that like a full REM cycle before you actually wake up. It's also helpful to know the time you want to wake up and then count backwards in intervals of 90 minutes to figure out what time you have to go to sleep. But I thought this was really cool because it ensures that right before you wake up, you are having an entire sleep cycle, and so you're most likely gonna wake up way more refreshed. So something to try out. Okay, so tip number one, actually, I shouldn't be holding this while I give you tip number one. I'll be right back. We got water. Now, before you say, come on, Kat, drinking more water, are you kidding me? I have a very, very effective method to share with y'all. I found that if I don't get enough sleep, but I am hydrated, I'm way more awake than if I have plenty of sleep, but I'm dehydrated and I haven't been drinking enough water. So drinking enough water is one of the single most important things about making sure you have energy in the morning. I have a little notepad that I stick to my fridge, and then I write Monday and then write 8 little check boxes. And every time I drink a glass of water, I have to check it off. Either I will have one of these with me all day long. This is 2 glasses. So once I finish one of these, I could check off 2 boxes. And another way I do it is leave a glass by the sink, going in and out of my kitchen a lot. And every time I see that glass, it will remind me like, oh, yep. And then I just drink 1 glass of water, quickly check it off. And then typically I am always well beyond getting those 8 glasses in by the end of the day. So if you're like me and checking things off is a huge motivator for you, this is a must. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna say don't press snooze. You're doing 2 things when you press snooze. 1, prolonging the inevitable of feeling groggy and tired when you wake up and not refreshed. And 2, wasting 9 minutes. Think about all of the things you could do in that 9 minutes that would actually further you and further your goals. You could do a 9-minute ab workout. You could go for a 9-minute walk. You could read while you're having your coffee. You could call a friend and have a conversation. Literally the list goes on and on of things that you could use those 9 minutes for instead of sleeping. I never thought about it like that. But when I did, I was like, yeah, why would I press snooze? It's not gonna help me. Like, it's that immediate gratification, but 9 minutes later, which again is gonna feel like 2 seconds, I'm just gonna be in the same position of extremely tired, and I've lost 9 minutes in my morning. So obviously, in order to wake up refreshed, you have to sleep well. So the next few tips are different ways to sleep better during the night so that by the time you wake up, you are feeling more refreshed. Consider the atmosphere that you're sleeping in. So for example, one thing that I always notice when Tim and I would wake up in the morning, especially during the winter, is my mouth would be dry, my nose would feel all like stuffed up. I remember one day Tim was like, that's it, this is ridiculous. It's way too dry when we sleep. That seems way more dramatic than the actual situation happened, but he went to the store, got a humidifier, and I swear the quality of my sleep when we have that humidifier on is in like astronomically better than when I'm like waking up in the middle of the night, my mouth is all dry. I wake up in the morning, my throat is scratchy, especially in the drier months like the winter right now. Get a humidifier and you will find that it makes your sleep a lot better. Another thing I found interesting is that we typically sleep better in cooler temperatures, so always make sure to turn down your heat before you go to sleep. I typically make it around 67, 68 when we're sleeping. Let me know if that's really cold or really hot to you, but I find that that's the perfect temperature when we are sleeping to have the heat on. Obviously in the morning, it makes it a little harder if you're all cozy in bed and it's cold, but you're gonna sleep better if it's colder. So, you know, kind of weighing out your options. And we got plenty of other things to pop you out of bed. Be active during the day. This doesn't have to be a crazy hour-long workout at the gym, lifting weights or going for a 2-mile run. If any of y'all are runners, you're probably thinking 2 miles, that's nothing, but to me, half a mile is a lot to run. So that just goes to show my relationship with running. But you know, going for a walk, obviously I have Callie, so I'm going for walks every single day. But even if you don't have a dog, get outside, do a 10-minute ab workout in your home. Just do something active and your body is going to sleep so much better at night. I try to stop eating any food around 2 to 3 hours before I go to sleep and just stick to drinking water. Even water, I try not to have any water after, like, or any sufficient amount of water an hour before I go to sleep so that I'm not constantly waking up to pee throughout the night. But food especially, because you don't want your body having to digest and work, do all that digestive work while you're sleeping. You want it to be able to rejuvenate your body and recharge you for the next day. But if you're digesting food, I find for me, I don't get as deep of a sleep and I find myself waking up more, especially if you're eating to the point where you get that full feeling. Definitely don't recommend doing that if you want to get the best quality sleep. Okay, so this next tip is consistency. You have to stay consistent with it. When I was consistently waking up at 5:30 every morning, it did not feel difficult. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was like, ooh, yay, I'm up, but there were some mornings where it actually was like that. 5:30 a.m. came around and I was energized and excited because my body was used to it. So my challenge to you is I want you to put together a little chart. Actually, let me know if that's something you would want me to do. Like some of these little challenges that I talk about, I wanna start doing free printables where I can put the printable together. You just have to print it out or download it on your phone and you can like go along with it. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. So this way you know exactly what time you're supposed to wake up, you can check it off as you go, and it's gonna make it way easier to stay consistent. This kind of contradicts what the last point was. I was reading these tips to Tim to get his opinion, and I read this one first and then the one that we just talked about after, and he was like, you just completely contradicted yourself. And then I explained my point and he was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, as humans, we want what we can't have, right? If you tell yourself that I'm never gonna eat sweets, I'm cutting them out completely, chances are you're gonna end up binging on a bunch of sweets. If you tell yourself I am gonna work out every single day, 7 days a week, no exception, chances are you're gonna burn out and then just not work out at all. And the same thing goes with your morning. If you tell yourself I'm waking up at 6 a.m. every single morning, no exceptions ever, when you wake up at 6 a.m., that alarm goes off, you are going to feel this sense of trapped and like you're in this cycle that it's just never ending. It's gonna be way less motivating than if you tell yourself, okay, on the weekends, you know, pick 1 or 2 days a week that you allow yourself to like sleep in, maybe set your alarm 2 hours later or just don't even set an alarm. And then when you are waking up at 6 a.m., you can think, oh, this sucks right now in the second, but I know that this weekend I get to sleep in, and that motivates you to push yourself throughout the week. Okay, so next up is if it's possible, let the sun in when you wake up. So if you're waking up before the sun, obviously this one can't really apply, but maybe on the weekends when you sleep in, always try and leave your blinds open if you can so that natural light can flow in the morning. I don't ever do this because I live in a condo and right outside my window they have like little area lights and I can't fall asleep unless it's pitch black. But when I used to live at home with my family, I would always keep my shades open. That way in the morning, the sun came pouring in. I just looked it up, and according to Google, waking up to sunlight is a good way to ensure that you will have energy throughout the day. All right, I don't know how I didn't think of this or mention it in like the talking part of this video, but If you can't wake up to natural sunlight, which I feel like most of us can't, I highly, highly recommend getting a sun wake-up light. This is the Philips Sunrise Alarm Clock. The entire bulb gradually lights up. I think it takes like 30 minutes for it to fully brighten up. And so it's kind of gradually waking your body up as if it was being woken up by natural light. And you can tell just the way it looks on camera, it's not a normal light bulb type of light because it flickers. So if you want to wake up to sunlight, but that's just not an option, I highly recommend checking out one of these sunrise lamps. Next, you might think this is kind of weird, but the mornings I actually do it. It really does help to immediately make me feel more awake. Obviously, we've all heard the tip of splashing cold water on your face right when you wake up to shock your body. Part of the issue there is you actually have to get yourself out of bed to the bathroom to splash water on your face. I remember in like middle school when I would have sleepovers with my friends, one of my friends always used to, if you would like sleep in the morning and she wanted you to get up, she'd pour water on your face. I don't miss those days. But now I kind of do it myself. Take a little spray bottle. You can get them from the Dollar Tree, Walmart, Amazon, wherever. Fill it with water. It would even be nice to put some essential oils in there that are safe for your skin. And in the morning when you wake up, have it right by your bed. Just spray yourself a couple times. And I promise this immediately makes you feel a little more awake. It's like that little shock first thing in the morning. So is to have a full 8-ounce, maybe even 2, if you could do 2, 1 to 2 8-ounce glasses of water first thing before your coffee. Even if you're drinking enough water every single day, your body has still had no water for about 8 hours when you wake up. So flowing it first thing in the morning with a good amount of water, and then you have your coffee, definitely is gonna give you that little jolt as well and make you feel more awake. If you watch until this part, I'm curious, what time do you normally wake up? My goal is to wake up around 6 a.m. every morning, but since working from home the past year, that has not It's not really been happening. I'd say more around 7-ish is when I actually wake up, but a goal of mine is to continue to wake up earlier and eventually be back at 5:30 or 6 every single morning. But let me know what time you're currently waking up, and if you want to change that and you want to wake up earlier, let me know. And of course, if you do have any waking up earlier, being more productive in the morning goals for yourself, I have a ton of morning routine and how to wake up early, how to be a morning person videos. So I'll have that entire playlist linked above me and in the description box. And I think that's about it. So I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video.